All right, we are live. 3, 2, and 1. All right, happy Wednesday. I'm so glad you guys are here. So my name is Tammy Workman-Lopez. My company is Sparked Hope, and my goal is to help you to create intimate connections. My goal is to help you to release negative thinking and understand that there's negative emotions that are there to help you instead of hurt you or hold you back or push you down or any of those things that are going on for you. And we're going to talk about that today. So the question that I get a lot of the time is really folks trying to understand what's going on for them, what's going on for their body, what's going on for their experience and their thoughts. They don't understand how to bring it all together. And so today we are going to take a look at how to bring it all together. And there's a couple things that we're going to be taking a look at. So first of all, I'm going to share my screen. And before I do that, the information that you're watching right now, go ahead and share it. Share the link to others. Let them know this looks really good and I want you to be able to take a look at it. And as you're doing that, you're helping people to be able to see what's possible for them. How can they, these negative emotions that are going on for them, how can they make that change? And sometimes people tend to think that there's guilt or shame or they can't talk about it with other people. This gives them a safe space in knowing how to be able to talk about it with others. And so I'm actually sharing it to my story right now. I'm sharing it to my Facebook right now, and I'm also going to be sharing it to my group. You can do the exact same thing. You can even text the link. You'll see the link up at the top. You can text that. If you have questions, please do ask me. If you are listening and you're like, oh, I can relate to that, please do share. As you share, you're helping other people to see how this can work for them. All right, cool. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once you see it. Okay, it looks like it's live. It may just take a minute to pop up for you guys, though. Sometimes it does that. Okay, so give me a heads up if you can see it. It's actually going to be the 5 points I'm going over today. I'm going to be going over more than just these 5 points, but this is going to give you a view. This is an infographic. It's like a graph that gives you the information, a graphic that gives you the information. It helps your mind and your subconscious mind to see it and memorize it without you even trying, because that's how the subconscious mind works. And so as we are helping you to go through this, you're helping yourself, you're helping your emotions. We tend to think that intimacy is really just us and a partner. Well, I help you to understand that intimacy is looking into you, into me, I see, and see how I can help myself. So if you're having these kinds of emotions where you're feeling panicked or overwhelmed or anxious or frustrated or emotionally shut down, and you're just like, I don't feel a thing, whatever, I just feel detached. Any one of these emotions, as well as any other negative emotion that you're having, they are meant to be helpful. They are meant to guide you. And you'll see that here as we're talking about this. And I have a couple other blueprints I would love to share with you. So you'll see here where it says here at the bottom, call, text for your free breakthrough call to learn more. Get on the horn, text me, call me. You can also get on my website at sparkshope.life and you can reach out and contact me there. You can also connect and go to my calendar and set up a session, a breakthrough session there. However it is, smoke signals, DM me through Facebook. I want you to get this information. My mission is to help people to understand this information, realize it doesn't have to be this hard and this difficult. I spent most of my life, well into my 30s, dealing with anxiety, dealing with overwhelm, dealing with panic, dealing with feeling not good enough, dealing with believing I had to be perfect. And so I couldn't move forward. I was paralyzed in moving forward and no one knew. People saw my success. They saw what I was doing. They didn't know what was going on inside my mind and in my heart. And I didn't know really how to tell them because I didn't really understand it myself. I was doing loads of personal development work, loads of spiritual work, loads of educational work, and I could not figure it out. Well, now that I have, I want to make sure you get the information too. And that's why I do this. All right. So these are not in any particular order. I've just ordered them this way. So you can see they go in any category. So say, for example, number 3, where it talks about getting help to interpret what's needed, I would say that's number A, right? Through every one of these points, that's a big piece of what you need. And that's why I'm here. I did not know how to interpret it. I did not know how to understand what I was thinking and feeling. And I lived in agony. I lived in stress that hurt my body. I lived in a constant feeling of worry and a constant feeling of not good enough. And my body showed for it. My body would feel like this a lot of the time. It wouldn't show it. I'd look like this out there, but in here, it felt like this. It felt pressure. It felt like it was hard to breathe. It felt like my throat was tight. It felt like I had pressure headaches. Not so much headaches, but the ache in my head. And I would feel uncertain when talking to people, and that would escalate. My blood pressure would get real high. It was hard to listen, hard to remember. Everything was hard. Everything was really tough. And since I have learned how to do this, and I'm transparent with you guys, right? It's something that I keep learning. I keep growing. I keep implementing this into my life with my clients as well. And life feels so much better. So much better. Now, I still have these things that come up. Now I know what they need. Now I know how to listen to the emotions. I'm going to give you an example. So, number 1, ask what the emotion needs. So let's say, for example, you're experiencing anger. We think anger means we need to rah and lash out and get back at that person. And I'm so sick of them. And I need to tell them where to go. And I'm setting boundaries now because I'm pissed. It doesn't mean that, right? What anger means is there to say, hey, what you're feeling right now, something's unjust and unfair. Either they're being unjust and unfair, or you're thinking unjustly and unfairly. And sometimes we don't know. We might not know the difference. And sometimes we might kind of catch that we are, but we don't know how to change it. That's why I help people to know how to do that. I had to learn it myself. So this isn't something I'm just pulling out of my hat or was like a great class that I've learned. This is something that I've been doing for, I'm 45 now. I've been doing this since I ended up in foster care at 15. I've been learning and growing and developing and trying to figure this out. And so I've taken all of that education, all of that practice, and all of that perfectionistic behavior of learning, and I've pulled it all together in more of a basic way to help your mind understand what took me decades to learn. And so you don't have to take that amount of time, or you might find I've already spent decades. I don't want to spend more. And so this will help you to be able to break that down and break through any of those limiting beliefs that you've got going on, creating that amazing intimacy with yourself, with your relationships, with your goals, with your business or your career, with your kids, just in how you treat yourself. It'll show up in those ways as you're beginning to understand what those emotions need. Okay. Notice where you feel the tension in your body. So for example, I mentioned, I felt that tension in my chest. I felt the pressure in my head. I would feel the insecurity running through my body, feeling like this in here. I would also have a lot of thoughts just running, just nonstop. And the tension, in my back and in my neck and in anywhere else in my body. I'd even feel it in my teeth. So just know, and I don't mean like my gums. I felt it in my gums, but I would feel it into the nerves of my teeth as well. So it may feel different for some people. They may feel the pressure in their hands or their feet or their glutes, right? Your butt. So it just depends for each person. I've had people that feel it in their organs or their ovaries, right? Or they can feel it in their groin because maybe they felt like they weren't wanted. Right. And so it's like we can feel our life being in our organs, in our body. A lot of people feel it in their heart. So everybody's different. So notice when you're having this experience, where do you feel the pressure in your body? As you're noticing that, sometimes you might notice the body feelings, but not the emotions or not the thoughts. So you can connect them to each other and go, oh, well, when I have this is the feeling that I'm feeling. And then this is the thought that I'm having. Now, this process takes a bit. I have a blueprint on understanding what your emotions are going through, and it's free. So if it's something that you're interested in, type in the comments, I want that blueprint about my emotions, right? Blueprint, emotional blueprint, and you can get it. Put it in the comments, you'll get it. I also have a blueprint that helps you to understand how to set boundaries. A lot of times we don't know how to set boundaries till we're pissed the hell off and we're hurting. And we're just like, I am tired of you and I'm going to tell you it now. But now we're saying it in a way that the other person can't hear us. Or maybe we're talking to a person who can't hear us anyway. I've worked with couples. I've worked with kids and parents, no matter how old they are. I've worked with 50-year-old kids and 90-year-old parents. I've worked with 30-year-old kids and 50-year-old parents, 45, depending on the ages, right? I've worked with teens that can't get along with each other. I've worked with parents and little ones. It's being able to help that communication aspect, being able to help each person understand what's the limiting belief that they have. And we can tell based on how they interact with each other. Now, you might not be able to because it's not something you've been practicing for 40 years, but it's definitely been something that I've been practicing over my lifetime. And so when I'm able to take a look at it, I'm able to see, based on what you're doing there, I'm curious, do you have this kind of belief? Or based on what you're doing there, what's coming up for you? What do you believe about your mom or your dad or your partner in this moment? What do you believe about yourself? What's the emotion coming up? Where do you feel that in your body? Let's take a look at those emotions. Let's look through this emotional blueprint. Which ones of those are you feeling? And most of the time they're like, oh, well, no wonder I'm feeling all of them. And then we're able to break it down and walk through what's happening. We're able to interpret it. Number 3, if you can't interpret what somebody's saying, it's like, "Mah, mah, 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 mah." And the same for them. They're like, I am trying to hear you, right? Like Nemo, right? The dad says to the little turtle, and the turtle's like, yeah, we're going to do this, and we're going to go down this, and we're going to travel the EAU or the EU, and we're going to do these things. And he's like, I know you're trying to tell me something. And the little guy's like, all right, dude, let's go. And he had no idea what was going to happen because he didn't hear anything. Even though it was very clear to other people listening, he couldn't hear. There are times when we're in relationships with people and we have certain dynamics we cannot hear. You have those dynamics even with yourself. You cannot hear. It's not your fault. It's not like you're not trying to hear. Right? My husband and I will get into arguments sometimes because he has a belief, which I have to remind him. I have mine too, by the way. He reminds me. We've taught each other. But he has a belief that if I'm saying what, it means I'm not listening. And no, actually, what means I am listening. Now, sometimes people aren't listening and they're like, what? And they're still not listening. I don't know, whatever. So that's not the case. I'm like, what? Because I'm trying to get you, but I don't understand. But his belief kicks in and it can get him upset. And so I have to remind him, no, honey, I'm really listening. I really want to know. I caught you up to here, but after that, I don't understand. It's just my comprehension. I didn't comprehend where he was going, or I didn't follow, or he added in a new piece of information and that I misinterpreted. So there are times when we don't understand and we can't know. But when I'm able to sit just like a coach on the sidelines and go, okay, so I saw this play and then I saw that play. What were you trying to create there when you did that play? Okay. And what were you trying to create there when you did that play? Oh, so now as each person is sharing with me what they're trying to create, the other can hear it differently because they've never asked questions like that. They don't even know to ask questions like that. And then they might be both like, yeah, that's what I thought. And that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm right. And then it's like, okay, well, I get that we want to be right? We don't want to be wrong. But is the intention really to be right, or is the intention to connect? Okay, well, actually, the intention is to connect. So we kind of bring down that frustration, help each other kind of calm into their intention. Okay, so then what is it that you could hear and see what's going on? What's the block? Well, when they said this, I felt this, and I believe that they're doing this. Okay, well, we can believe that, but is that really what they're doing? Let's check in over here. Is that really what you were trying to do? No, actually, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this. And so then the mind can understand. And I'm giving you the example in a couple situation, but this works with an individual. Asking those questions gets the individual to go, oh, snap. I made that up. I made up that's what they were trying to do because that's what I believed. And because I believed it, I totally stepped into that's the truth without checking over there within myself going, wait a second, I don't think I'm not good enough. I do doubt and I do have these wonders and I do feel insecure. And no, I do believe in myself. I do want this. This is my goal. And it really cleans that out. And it allows us to get inside the mind and create a cleaning. It's just a spring cleaning. That's all it is. But we can't clean up what we can't see. And a lot of times, just like the horse with those focusers on, there's been focuses that are put on you. I know there's another name. I can't think of it. There's these focuses that have been put on you, right? Somebody said, hey, try this on. It's really going to help you. And you said, okay. And so that's been your view. You can't see outside of there. So as we're working together, I'm helping you to remove those by becoming aware they're even there. What are the blinders that you have on that keep you from seeing? What are the beliefs, the blinders that you have on? Well, let's question that belief. Is it really true that you're not good enough? Is it really true everything has to be perfect before you can move? Is it really true that your partner or your parent hates you? Let's ask those questions and then check in and realize, gosh, I know they don't. So what else is going on? What other support is needed? How do we continue to go through interpreting that? And a big piece to help you relieve that is number 4, writing down those thoughts, just like what I just shared, because as we get them out of our head, they're not looping. So we store all of our thoughts and our beliefs on a subconscious level. So think about it like the file cabinets in the back or the computer. You've got all the information that's housed in the computer in the back, but in the front, you see the icons. So your front thoughts pull forward and your conscious mind can only hold about 7 to 9 bits of information, 7 to 9 units, right? And you might think that's not true, but it's how fast your mind works. You don't even realize that there's a limit, but you become exhausted really quickly because that process is trying. Because it's going forward, back, 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 forward, back. And before you even open your eyes, you're just like, oh, my thoughts have me exhausted. And that's why. It's not because your thoughts are exhausting. It's because that process itself is exhausting. The mind, when you pull it, let's say we organize this. Let's say we calm this down. You pull it forward, you write it down. Cool. I don't have to pull it forward again. You pull the next piece forward, you write it down. Cool. I don't have to pull it forward again. You pull the next piece forward, write it down. Cool. I don't have to pull that forward again. Now I can look on this list and I could see, all right, what is it that I need to do? And I can plan out here in a much more relaxed fashion where the mind can be creative and there's a clean canvas in here versus it's filled with all of this stuff and emotions and overwhelm that the emotions are going through. Instead, it's out here. And so then we can take each little thing in a little bite, doable, calmer, relax. Oh, that's what that emotion's telling me. That's what that body feeling is all about. That's why I'm thinking that way. Oh my God. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I am so getting this. I am feeling so in control of my thoughts, so in control of my emotions, so in control of how I respond. So my relationships are showing up amazing. How I'm feeling with my emotions feels really good. And if you need additional support, like a therapist or medication or talking to a person on how to work through whatever it is you guys are struggling with, or, we take a look at whatever is needed and you handle it. And as you're handling it, you're feeling more confident, you're growing, you're developing, you're just feeling amazing. That pounding heartbeat is relaxed more of the time. That feeling clammy and sweaty is just, okay, it's there, it's not there, I'm good with it. That tension in your throat, you're like, I can breathe. You're communicating, you're setting boundaries, you're feeling good. Awesome, man. It's so awesome. And so then number 5, as you're allowing yourself to go through that process, you're removing judgment, you're removing guilt, you're removing shame, you're removing blame, you're removing that I can't take care of myself, it's selfish, I've got to take care of everybody else first. Or because I am taking care of me, I'm selfish and I need to be selfish. No, in that moment, you're being selfish, right? We need to take care of ourselves. We need to be selfish at times. No one else is going to shower us and wipe our hind end. We have to. We have to plan for our food. We have to learn about what our emotions need. We have to give ourselves some downtime to kind of filter through. We need our self-care time to regroup and fill our cup so we can pour into others. We think we're at 100% when we're giving to others. If you're not 100% into giving to you, it's not possible to be 100% when you're giving to others. You might think you're 100%, but do this work and find out what 100% looks like. That's so cool. The joy that you feel, the relief that you feel, the calm that you feel. Let me know as you're hearing this and thinking about this, what's coming up for you? What's giving you that aha, that, oh yeah, if I did have this, this would feel, and connect to that. If I was allowing myself, if I was giving permission to myself, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Cool. Allow yourself that experience. You so deserve it. That's what you've been put here for. You've been put on this earth to appreciate this earth, appreciate your body, appreciate this life. Really just appreciate who you were created to be. You were created to be the creator, to take care of this earth, to love each other as you love yourself, to love how you've been created, to love that you're not here to do this all by yourself. That's what you've been created for. And so why not give yourself permission to deserve that, to allow that, to be that? So do share with me what's coming up for you. Do share with me, and thank you guys so much for the hearts. I really do appreciate it. Any questions you have, even if you're cynical, like, yeah, I hear you, but I don't believe that. How does that happen? How do we get that? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Whatever those thoughts are, let them come out. Share them. You deserve to allow yourself this process. All right. So I want you to know that you are loved and cared about, whether you like it. And bring it in. Good job. And you are going to be reminded now. I'm going to ask, what do my emotions need? I'm going to notice where my body is holding any tension. I'm going to allow myself not to have judgment on that. I'm instead going to practice self-nurturing. I'm going to find out, I'm going to check with Tammy or whomever it is and find out how to interpret, what are my emotions telling me? What are these thoughts here for? What if they are all good? What if, just like a battery, your negative emotions and your positive emotions are both needed for the flow that you want in your life? The negative isn't bad and the positive isn't good separately. It's all good. They are there for a reason. You were gifted them into your mind, into your body, into your being, to use them to help you grow. So learn how to do that so you can help your kids to know how to do that, no matter what age you are, no matter what age they are. You can allow yourself to have that time to learn on it, work on it. Give me a call. You see my information here. You can text me. You can reach my website, sparkshope.life. You can reach me on any social media at Coach Tammy Star. I'm here. I'm available. Reach out to me. You get to have this. You deserve this. This is what you've been put on this earth for. So instead of resisting it, fighting it, having frustrations in your relationship, having frustrations in your business or your career, having frustrations with your kids, realize that frustration is telling me that my emotions have gotten to such a height. I'm reactive, or I'm shutting down, or a variation in between. I want to learn how to use that in my favor, right? All odds in your favor, my friend. All right, you guys, you take care of yourselves. Know that you're loved, know that you're appreciated, and know that you can have this. This is not some kind of impossible, right? Know that this is possible for you. You can have it. All right, you take care of you. Ciao for now. Mwah.